All right, everyone, when you look at the Democratic candidates speak, some of them are better than others. Like some of them, they can speak in an extemporaneous manner. Kamala Harris is not one of those people. She has problems. No matter what she's asked, it doesn't seem like she's able to have an authentic response. Everything sounds scripted from her. So when she was asked about Hunter Biden, like Biden's son sat on the energy board of like the board of directors of an energy firm in Ukraine while his daddy was VP. The conflict of interest there, considering the centrality of Ukraine to diplomacy at the time, in regards to, especially when they were getting billions of dollars in U.S. aid at the time, at that explicit time, that was definitely bad. It shouldn't have happened. It's probably illegal what happened. But Kamala Harris was asked about this. Well, if you were president, would you allow your vice president to have a child sitting on this board? Oh no, well, probably not. Well, I'd have to look at it. Well, I'm not really going to talk about that much more because it's just a distraction from Trump. Orange man bad, therefore I don't have to address the fact that the Vice President of the United States might have made one of the world's biggest diplomatic oopsies at the time and possibly broken U.S. law in the process. Oh, the Dem frontrunner has been implicated in a massive scandal that may have involved pressuring the Ukrainian government to fire a prosecutor to keep him away from the son of the Vice President. That's okay, it's a distraction from Orange Man. Let's talk about the real issues, like the Billy Bush tape. It's nonsense. This is clown world bullshit. And Kamala Harris uniquely is disqualified from ever holding that office because she's just so terrible at explaining herself. And she at the first debate, like the Democratic debate, she did okay because she wasn't really pressured. It was a hug box. It was a love fest between the Dems. No one wanted to attack one another. At number 2 and number 3, when the gloves come off, though, Kamala Harris has performed very poorly. She's been at the bottom of the heap. So she went from being arguably in like a decent 3rd place to being now in a distant 5th behind even Buttigieg, Buttigieg, whatever the fuck his name is. He's viable at this point. She's not. He's even on a downswing slightly. But he's ahead of Kamala Harris, not that that's saying very much. She's now down at the bottom of the field. This is a 3-person race. You've got 3 choices for your presidential nominee. Joe Biden, Elizabeth Warren, and Bernie Sanders. And none of them, I think, can win against Trump, which is exactly why they've decided to use the nuclear option of having an impeachment inquiry going on during the election because they can't formulate a platform. It'll be interesting to see whether the American public is actually dumb enough to be taken in hook, line, and sinker by such an elementary strategy. Kamala Harris, meanwhile, though, she can't explain anything. Like, if you were to get him up on stage and ask him, what's your favorite ice cream flavor? Kamala Harris would be saying, well, sometimes I think I like chocolate. Other times I think I like vanilla. Sometimes I like strawberry ice cream. And then there are all of these wonderful flavors that we've invented. But can we please get back to the real issue that Donald Trump likes the wrong ice cream flavor? What is he, like a fucking banana a la mode or something like that? He's wrong for liking that. That would probably be your answer. Bernie Sanders, meanwhile, would say, well, I like the ice cream company more than I like the ice cream. Ben & Jerry's is a wonderful thing until they sold out to Coca-Cola. Now, don't they have their own ice cream line? Like Ben & Jerry actually still make ice cream more regionally, but it's not Ben & Jerry's. They basically just sold the corporate name. Very, very funny. And I think that they do, and they sell it. So I think you can get this hippie-ass ice cream up there. They'd probably put cannabis in it at this point. For CBD oil ice cream. Get your fix, kids. That's some good shit. Get the munchies while eating. It's like when they were serving marijuana burgers, that's the first thing I thought of. It's like, doesn't that defeat the purpose? You're supposed to use the marijuana, and then you get the munchies, then you eat the burger. And that's part of the point. If you're eating it while you're getting the edible in you, then an hour later you'll get the munchies again. I guess it's a great branding strategy because you're making people hungry at your restaurant with the food itself. They must make a killing at these places. Getting a little bit off topic on anything but Bernie Sanders' bullshit hippie utopia. It's paid for by 90% tax rate, but at least you can get high and pretend that you're saving the world. Kamala Harris isn't even offering that. I'm wondering, what exactly does she even offer the Dem field other than the fact that she happens to be a non-white female? That seems to be why her remaining handful of fans actually support her. Well, we can't support Warren because she's a WASP. And I can sort of understand that because Warren gets preachy and stuff. So I'm not faulting for that. And we can't support Bernie because he's male. That appears to be really why. And then Biden's not far left enough, so I guess they default to worshiping Kamala Harris. But I mean, Kamala Harris isn't even like authentically a leftist. She was rambling about smoking weed and listening to Tupac. She couldn't even remember when Tupac became active, and then she was like throwing people in jail for smoking weed not that long after. Oh my god, joints for me, but not for thee, because Kamala Harris' appetite for cannabinoids, I guess, was just so massive she wanted to throw everyone else in prison, confiscate their pot, and then smoke it through a great big gravity bong. I'm imagining Kamala Harris in college, rigging like a bong with like 20 chambers, and using a fucking vacuum cleaner to pull the smoke into a big-ass bag, and she just walks around huffing it. And she's like, if you look up like legendary dab or something like that, like someone smoking way, way too much and they just get to the point where they're all derped. I can imagine Kamala Harris being like that. I bet she got derped, though. She was a lightweight. She had a toothpick, actually, and she'd get derped on that, probably. I mean, she's a really weird, cringy person. I know this video's gone completely off the rails, but Kamala Harris is a funny topic. She's the funniest of the Dem candidates. Other than maybe Yang, because Yang, he breaks down crying, and he's perpetually greasy. He looks like Nate Silver on election night, when he realized that he was wrong, and he just had a sheen of sweat, his hair was all weird and disheveled. That's what Yang looks like on a good day. I don't know what's wrong with the dude. There's something, like, get checked for liver damage, dude. Tone it down on the alcohol that we all know that you must be drinking before your rallies to start crying about kids getting blasted. Oh, my kids go to school. I think about them whenever I think of guns. Yeah, okay. That's really sensible, dude. How many millions of dollars have you embezzled from your own campaign? That'd be really funny to know the answer. I guess we'll know in a couple of years when we get that report. That's about all. Peace out.